Hi,
Hello,
I'm Julian.
and I am us.
We are here to talk about Pluribus. We are Team Binge, and you threw me off with your weird intro there, Tom. So, it hasn't been that long, but we're back talking about this Apple show, which is done by who, Tom?
It is done by Mr. Vince Gilligan of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul fame. You've seen these shows, right? You've watched
I am familiar with his work with Breaking Bad. That was one of the rare shows where I committed to finishing it and watching from beginning to end, and I did watch from beginning to end. And yeah, it broke bad a couple of times. Great show. So he's obviously known to be a wonderful writer and showrunner. And this is his dive into Apple. I'm always a little bit afraid when they give like great names in show business Apple shows that this is where they just dump their like half-hearted ideas just based on some of the Apple shows we've watched. Other than like Lasso and some of the greats. But I enjoyed this pilot immensely. We're just going to talk about episode 1, although they've dropped both episodes. Tom and I have only seen one, unless he lied to me and continued on.
I did not.
But Tom, what is your relationship to Mr. Gilligan from the island?
I love his work. Like he's one of those people that whatever he will release, like I will watch. It's just that good. I think his writing style, directing style, everything is just so top notch and makes for fantastic prestige television. And then now seeing him get kind of the keys to an Apple show, which I think Apple seems to do a really good job of giving their creators the ability to do their thing and not try to change it or tweak it to fit some sort of like executive narrative. So I'm here for it. Like the sci-fi angle, like I didn't know what I was getting into when we kind of started this show, but when it first started out with them getting this extraterrestrial like signal or transmission, I was like, oh, this is me. I'm in. I'm excited for all of this.
Yeah, very tight-lipped on what this show was about, and I went in completely cold. Tom, you made the comment about Apple giving like creators the ability in the space. I think sometimes creators need some limitations, so I'm not going to say anything about this show yet. I think we, once again, got a wonderful pilot, but if you go back to the previous one that we did about the arsonist, that one probably could have used some notes from the
Okay, that's
production.
fair.
But we're going to dive through this episode, talk about all the important stuff. Tom, this seems like a show where there's a lot happening in the background that you're supposed to pay attention to. So I'm going to rely on your detectiveness to lead us to that place. And I mean, we essentially have a really big mystery about what's going on and why it's happening in this first episode. But I like how they approach it. Now, the main actress in this is from Better Call Saul, correct?
Yes, I think it's Rhea Seehorn is her name, and she was incredible on that. I don't think I've seen her in much before that, but so glad that they kind of partnered again together for her to kind of lead this story.
Well, I guess if your last name's Seahorn, you have to write books about ravishing pirates on purple sand. And honestly, I'm fascinated with the world of Winds of Vaquero. I'm excited to hopefully read all of those novels along with watching the show. But this episode was called We Is Us, which is a sentence I've said quite a bit as someone who loves joining things. I'm never not joining things. But we start in New Mexico, which New Mexico is also Breaking Bad, correct? Does this guy just love... Is Taylor Sheridan loves Texas, Sterling Harjo loves Tulsa, and Gilligan loves New Mexico. Is that how it all works out?
He does, yeah. Like I think filming both Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad in like the New Mexico, Albuquerque, Santa Fe area, like he definitely has an affinity for it. So it was kind of fun to see it's still in the same setting.
Sure, and we've seen these satellite dishes before in shows like Independence Day, and I think John Cusack talks to his dead father, or maybe that's someone else. Anyways.
Contact, Jodie Foster.
Yeah, there you go. I loved the countdown that they gave us with no context. And I don't know, like, I guess we can talk through it. It's kind of a nice framing device. But, like, 439 days out, we get this signal from space. We don't have to go into all of the nerddom, but it turns out all of these guys that look like they spend a lot of time in a trailer in the middle of New Mexico have decided that this is Morse code. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, it's like they're trying to determine what kind of code, and they're like, oh, it's not quaternary. And I was like, sure, show, please make me feel dumber. Like, what is going on?
Yeah, it was. I love the idea of it being like a space message that's going to kind of kick off the shenanigans that happens. But I don't know, nor do I feel like I care that much about exactly where this is coming from. What is the science behind it? Like, I'm more into like the mystery of just how our characters are going to react to it. I'm wondering if you think we're going to get like an alien presence or like something more sci-fi than just what we have now, because it makes me almost think of what was the show where like everybody disappeared that was on HBO?
The Leftovers,
where I think The Leftovers had that concept where like, yep, everybody just kind of like half the people disappeared. We're not going to tell you like there's no science or anything behind it. It just happens. The rest of it is just the story of how these characters are reacting to it. Now, granted, this was a little bit different because there's only one character essentially reacting to everybody else becoming one. But I don't know if I need some sort of technical explanation for it.
Sure. I mean, it's probably a better show if you can just put that aside and not think where did this come from, but just, hey, it happened and this is how we deal with it. I understand where you're coming from. I do think them bringing us like, hey, it came from space, but we're not going to tell you how or why. I think that is a little bit cheap, but I see what you're saying. I'm more invested in this one character, that this chemical compound, and that's what we discovered, that this message is some sort of chemical compound that they are then like synthesizing. Or I'm not a scientist, Tom, not a doctor, not a scientist, none of those things.
I love when we get to this point, because at this point it's like 71 days and we're still counting down. But just seeing all these people in different like scientific experiments and colors, like it was such a great visual, and I loved it.
Tom, are you a bring donuts for the crew guy? Like, what's your go-to if you're going into the office and you feel like being nice to all your coworkers? What are you taking in there? Is it donuts?
I don't know if I bring donuts, just because, you know, the health kick. I know you're a keto guy, so I wouldn't do that. Maybe just bring some coffee? I don't know. I don't drink coffee either. Well, let's just be honest. I don't bring anything.
Yeah, so
People
we just discovered something about Tom. Tom is not one to bring a gift for the whole group. Tom's a taker. We'll just say that. Not a giver. He's a taker. There we go. That's wonderful. Listen, after watching this show and watching people lick the public donuts, I've got a real issue with sharing food with people.
I loved how, because that was like a teaser trailer, right? They just showed this lady licking donuts, putting them back in this office setting. You're like, what is the show? What is going on? So then kind of now giving you the context of why that happened was incredible.
Sure. And we now dive into our main character, and we learn a lot about her. We learn that she loves like local bookstores. She's visiting. This one's called Barnes & Noble, which is just a little family-owned bookstore. She doesn't believe in Amazon, apparently. You got to buy your books at a brick and mortar. But our main character, Carol Sturka, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, is an author. And she is an author of what seems to be like a... these have a name. It's like romantic fantasy, romancy novels. Is that a thing?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking at a bookshelf in my office of a lot of these books I haven't read, but that my spouse has read. And I'm not judging her. I mean, all my part of the shelf is like, you know, history and biography, books on science. I'm a learned man, Tom. You know this. And then right next to it is, let me look at a book that I'll tell you a name. A Fire Endless, River Enchanted, and the New Testament. So I don't know what that one's about. But anyways, so I really like how they establish her. They like put her in this situation where she is playing it up, but she clearly finds some of her fans annoying. Like, we get these details about this book series that, I don't think it's going to come into play in the scheme of the story. But I really like this character building, like, situation that they put her in.
Well, and going into the show, I think the general premise is that everybody seems to be, like, happy except for her.
Did not know that, Tom. Did not know that, but excited to find it out as we watch.
But like then seeing her, like the very first thing we see her is her like smiling, her reading her book, her like being like very enthusiastic about this. And then when she eventually gets in the car and kind of talks to, I don't know if I'm assuming it's her partner / agent.
Yes.
Talks to her. She's like, I mean, these fans like this mindless crap. She doesn't like what she's doing and what she's preparing. It was really cool.
Tom, I have one question. I have two questions for you. I'll start with my second question. Of all of the people in line, who was your favorite fan? Who jumped out to you?
Oh, there's no doubt the dude that brings a sword into a Barnes & Noble was my favorite.
Sure. Of course you would pick the dude. I believed in all of the women, and I thought they were great. I thought they were wonderful. A lot of smart people are saying they're the best. My second question to you, Tom, is Raban dead? That's what I want to know. Is Raban dead?
I think that's the central mystery of this show.
Of Pluribus is whether or not Raban is dead.
Yeah, and whether it actually is George Clooney. Will
Yes.
George Clooney make an appearance as one of the us?
As Raban in Winds of Wakaro. I'm sure I'm saying that right. The then cut to her in the car and like the limo driver being like, hey, there's a lot of people. Am I supposed to know who you are? Which is kind of a strange introduction. Like, hey, you seem famous. Should I know who you are? And her like kind of dropping the facade of being happy and enjoying her fans and just being like, this is garbage, I thought was an interesting, once again, development to her character.
Yeah, agreed. Let's be honest, though. Does anybody know any author? Like, if you saw an author's face, would you know them?
Stephen King. I would know Stephen King's face.
Okay.
Most of the authors that I read are dead, so because I'm a learned man,
Of course.
I don't know what, if I saw Socrates sculpted in marble, I'd be like, oh, that's Socrates, Tom, because once again, I'm super smart. Anyways, also
and
humble. The most humble. Thank you. I'm probably the best at being humble, if I could say so myself.
Agreed.
Let's count the days together, Tom. So we're at 29. And we're at a Army Medical Research, which this is on like the floor of the lobby. And I appreciated the camera direction here because it took me, I had to like lean, I had to like tilt and read like all of the inscription of what this place was, only to figure out that, so this is the Army Medical Research Center where they are trying to like figure out what this chemical, now that they've produced it, does. And they have had essentially no success on animals. They're trying it on a bunch of rats, and this is a conversation between the two scientists. Did you recognize any of the actors in this scene, Tom?
I did. I feel like the gentleman scientist that kind of comes in, I believe he's the dude from Deadpool. Yeah. That's where I clocked him from. Yeah,
that's exactly right. It took us a little while to get there, but very funny. I did think when they're like, we're getting no success out of animals, that they were going to turn to the security guard and be like, would you like to be experimented on? And he's like, but I brought donuts, bro. Like, leave me alone.
Yeah.
This all leads to an animal waking up and biting one of them. And things are going wrong from there. It felt a little bit like a zombie movie in this moment, right?
Yes, 1,000%. And like, again, I don't know if we're going to get how this thing spreads, because I've got a lot of questions about that. Like, I get her getting bit and then seizing, and then her transmitting this via kiss. Like, they kiss the guard later, they kiss the janitor, and then it just starts to spread like wild here. But then later on, I mean, the people are just either watching TV, or does it go airborne? Like, I don't know what happened between day 29 and I think this next scene that we get at the bar, that chaos just reigns. But it was a great scene, and I loved how it was filmed.
The eeriness of the shot where it's like above the lab and they have all the people file in and they start swabbing and collecting the cultures and working together in sync. Like, while nothing terrible is happening in that, just like the hive mind that is happening is, I don't know, very, very chilling in that moment. I enjoyed that shot, and I felt like it gave gravity to like, what is about to go on with all of these people, and also the donut licking.
Yeah, the donut licking. Yeah, I mean, I definitely got like this, like Last of Us vibe, right? Another show that we kind of covered, of like the idea of like all the like infected being like part of a hive mind, and seeing it now to this level where they seem to be essentially the same being, where they're just doing everything identical to one another. And you see the people that are like in this army research facility like slowly kind of come in. Like one lady seemed to be somebody who was just dropping off food. One was a janitor, some of the actual scientists. Like, it was just wild to see this kind of slowly happen.
So, watching this show, Tom, are we now allowed to walk up to random strangers and kiss them on the mouths? Or are we still, because of COVID, are we still not supposed to walk up to random strangers and kiss them on the mouths? Is that...
You should, unless you're both masked, then you can.
Okay, so if if I'm in a mask and I see someone in a mask, I can go up and kiss them on the mouth. Okay,
correct.
But how will I know where their mouth is if they have a mask? So,
gotta guess.
These are the questions that this podcast asks, the important ones.
We'll put a pin in it and we'll get to it.
We'll get to it. Yes, we will. All right, so as you said, we're 3 hours on the countdown. We're at the airport. This establishing shot is just like that Helen and Carol are partners, both, it seems, romantically, as well as her publisher, and that our girl Carol cannot drive because she, I guess, has had some previous run-ins with alcohol and getting behind the wheel, it seems like.
Yes. Yeah, she has a breathalyzer in there. She's a fellow drinker. She's welcome on Team Binge anytime.
Oh, okay. So the draft is happening and we've taken her first round. All right, I like it.
Listen, we don't condone driving drunk, but...
No, we don't.
We do partake.
But we do condone drinking in excess to the point where your family gets together and they tell you they have a problem, or that you have a problem. And
No,
you
they
say,
have
no,
the problem.
It's their
They
problem.
have the problem.
You guys have the problem. I'm not a quitter. No one likes a quitter, and I'm not quitting now. All right. Man, I had a weekend last weekend. Okay, so Carol is also, during this scene, complaining about the book tour, and like, we get this sense that she wants to do something of substance, and Helen kind of encourages her, like, hey, I've read your other stuff, your more serious stuff, you're Socrates adjacent, Tom. I don't know if you're familiar with the author Socrates. He's very
Socrates.
smart.
I call him Socrates.
Yes, you do. And that she should publish her serious book, which I'm sure as an agent who's making money, and your partner's making money off of this, we'll just call it slop, probably. Or maybe it's the greatest thing ever written. I don't know. I don't want to judge. I'm just going off of Carol's, her suggestion here. But I bet it's got to be weird as an agent to be like, oh yeah, you should definitely write that biography on Socrates, because lots of people are going to read that as opposed to a fifth book.
Yeah, I like this idea of her like having a passion project that she's been working on for like 4.5, 5 years. And I think she even titles it called like Better Chrysalis. So to bring this up, I mean, I can't imagine she's going to be doing a lot of writing nowadays with what's been happening. But I mean, we're going to get more of this. We have to.
Do you think we're going to get more of that book, that particular book?
Something.
Going to play into? Well, it doesn't seem like she's going to be talking to many people after this, we'll call it a virus, spreads. Because she's just going to be annoyed with everyone. So maybe her best company will be... You always have friends if you have books, Tom. That's what I used to say when I was a child alone in my room and no one wanted to hang out with me. And yes, also in prison. Hanging out with Pastor Mark. Anyways, that joke will make sense to no one.
Yeah. Watch the lowdown and then listen to our podcast on that. Otherwise, out of context, that is weird.
Yeah, that was a weird sentence, but it was based on a show, so I'm going to roll with it. Okay, Tom, as a guy that loves cigarettes.
Yep, big vapor now.
That's right, big vapor, once again, lowdown callback. But I love to smoke break. I loved leaving. She leaves like a coaster on top of her friend's drink, or on top of Helen's drink, I believe.
Got to protect them.
Right, from all the dust that's falling from the sky.
Chemtrails from these jets outside.
Well, so let's talk about that. This is like a proponent of chemtrails and what they bring. Is this why everyone starts... I mean... We have the army is doing the swabbing, and so they're collecting this virus so that they can spread it to humans. All of a sudden, we see all these jets fly over with chemtrails, and that's what leads to people reacting. So this is like an airborne virus at this point, I believe. Tom?
That's pretty funny. I is usually pretty smart in this detecting thing. Never even put two and two together. I'm like, oh, cool. There's jets flying together. Maybe that's a reaction to this disease or infection. But no, the idea of that being the delivery system makes a lot more sense.
You were probably like, New Mexico's NFL team was probably having a game, and that's the flyover. They do a blackout flyover at the New Mexico. I'm gonna say their football team is called like the Buttes or something like that.
I think they have the Albuquerque Isotopes, which seems pretty on point.
That's dope. Yep. Okay, here's what I loved. I loved them reading reviews and like interacting, or like the agent is like bringing up what the fans are saying. Mm-hmm. How Carol is so dismissive, but all of this is happening with like the guy crashes in the truck, the jets fly over. There's just like real life happening, and then we're on the precipice of something terrible going wrong. And I really enjoyed how this was all shot, and a discussion of George Clooney, which everyone loves, you know?
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting because she probably had an idea when she was writing this of who this person is, Raban, but she's playing the game, and she realized, like, I got to appeal to the masses. I got to say it's George Clooney, so that way everybody can then picture him accordingly. Yeah,
I thought it was a little bit strange that in this show they're like, and once again, it's hinted at, but I don't know how overt it is that Carol and Helen are lovers or like in a relationship romantically. Mm-hmm. And it feels like they have a sense that they're hiding it from fans. And I don't know, like, it's 2025 in this world. I didn't really understand why that was a thing, but you know, once again, there's complexity to these characters, which I appreciate. But it did feel like Carol sold out a little bit when she was like, Raban looks like George Clooney. Instead, she could have been like, Raban looks like you, Helen. You know, that's a line you deliver to your significant other, I think.
Agreed. Yeah, get you some brownie points. I'm wondering if it's going to be a kind of show that we get flashbacks, right? Like showing their relationship prior and how it kind of leads to maybe her decisions that she makes now. I think, I don't know. I mean, I probably should have thought about this, but I don't know if Breaking Bad did necessarily that a lot. They definitely did like location jumps, but I don't know if they did like a lot of big flashbacks.
They did do some because they went back to like him dealing with the teacher that he would have.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
created that product. Yeah, so I think I hope we do. And these characters are complex enough that I would like to know more. This being like kind of included with the gentleman who's crashed the vehicle, Carol going to help him, and then turning around and watching Helen fall over. I mean, just a really well shot, super creepy. Tom, as a guy that loves a pratfall, were you just laughing and laughing and laughing when you watched Helen just fall over?
No, I just thought like, oh man, she's gonna nail the back of her head on the cement, and like she just went like stiff as a board. Like it was an impressive fall.
Yeah, I was like, oh, her sciatica, or sciatic nerve, whatever it's called. Socrates invented it. So everyone starts seizing. And do you have theories on why this did not affect, and I don't know if we want to save this towards the end, but this is the moment where it's kind of like, this is affecting everyone but Carol. Mm-hmm. And did you note anything that she was doing differently? Because, I mean, if it's airborne, it's in the air. She's still breathing it. So, like, the cigarette doesn't deflect it. Although, I have a doctor that is saying that cigarettes are coming back around. And that everyone should smoke. It's good for your lungs. It really, like, opens them up a bit.
Yeah. Dr. Oz.
Yeah, Dr. Oz. Incredible. What's incredible about that joke is it might be true. Like, that might have been a thing. Anyways, he sells that like electric thing that gives you abs, and he's also like, smoking's good for abs too, Dr. Oz.
Exactly.
Thanks, Oprah. All right, go ahead.
I mean, I feel like this is kind of like a Last of Us kind of thing where there's just some people that are immune for whatever odd reason. I don't know if they're going to give or need to give an explanation. I think we get later on in the episode, we do find that she is not necessarily the only one.
That's true. She's one
there
of
were 11.
That's
yeah,
right.
So whatever this new hive mind is, they're trying to quote unquote fix everybody, and we can talk to it when we get there, but I'm wondering if we're going to meet any of these other 11 characters, because that could be interesting and compelling, but, you know, Earth is pretty big, so I don't think one of the 11 characters would probably be, or people that are immune would be close to her. But yeah, that's kind of my take. She's just the outlier, and we'll maybe figure out more why.
Sure. She's trying to transport Helen. She uses the like sandwich board, like the ad. I thought that was a really
That's cool.
She gets in the back of the truck because she can't get her own vehicle to operate.
That was good, yeah.
She had one drink inside. I love the shot where we see that the truck hood is like an airbrushed unicorn.
Yeah,
and it was
dope.
like, she's a unicorn. She's different than everyone. This truck is a unicorn.
Ooh.
Eerie shot of the cops, like, overturned vehicle and bodies in the side of the road. I'm going to be interested to figure out, like, why some people die, why some people are immune, why some people just succumb to it. I think all of that is very interesting, because this leads us to the hospital scene, which, Tom, I did not care for. And I do want to ask you, how quickly do you assume you're in a zombie movie? Like, if you walk into this hospital and everyone's doing that, do you just start shooting people in the dome because you assume they're going to become zombies? Do you have to wait for one of them to try to bite you before you, like, at what
No, it's too late. Then it's too late.
Exactly. Shouldn't the default be like, hey, let's go to gun violence immediately, Tom? Tom, the floor is yours. Please tell me your thoughts on gun violence.
I probably wouldn't. I don't know how I would react, but the idea of these... I mean, it was just shot so well, right? Like, all these people being perfectly still, seizing, and then all in unison starting to move and kind of come to, like... It was all just absolutely terrifying, and I thought it was just such a great pilot to kind of set up this wild new universe we're living in.
Right. And this is intercut with, like, Helen taking her last breath. It's devastating for Carol, and then all of a sudden everyone in the hospital is moving in unison. And you're like, nope, don't care for this world at all. Also, this doc not following your rules. He's not masked, Carol's not masked, but he goes and kisses her. Which she does not appreciate. And this was almost like, the hive mind figuring out, hey, she hasn't succumbed, like, we need to put the virus on her, so that's what ends up happening. And then all of them talking in unison, Tom. Did not care for it.
We just want to help you, Carol.
No.
Like, Children of the Corn style stuff.
No, thank you. My one regret in life is that me and my brothers never, like, showed up in my parents' room in the middle of the night and just started talking in unison. Like, if there are kids listening, and we are a podcast for children, if you have, like, more than, I don't know, 2 siblings, if you can get 4, wherever 4 are gathered, one time go into your parents' room late at night and have, like, a scripted reading together and scare the crap out of them. Be like, we are only here to help you, father and mother. I think that would, I don't know. Anytime this happens in a show, and this is done so well in this one, I did not care for it, Dom.
Well, we do get in this, in this upcoming scene where it's the same kind of concept, where you have the 2 kids, like the neighbor kids, talking in unison. It seemed like great children. Helpful, polite, kind. Great
watching, always seeing where the key is put. So there is also something happening where you have all the people, like, operating in unison, and then almost outside of that, they're almost like stagehands. There's, like, groups of people that are swooping in to, like, get rid of the bodies, do the cleanup, and we see it in the cul-de-sac where, like, it's almost like someone with a trailer that's full of bodies shows up to take out a neighbor. So I'm interested to know, there's, like, I don't know, the us that's happening, but then there are also some, like, caretakers outside of that are, like, doing the, hey, don't look over here, we're just removing this dead body, which I thought was interesting and very creepy.
Yeah, and like you had mentioned, like, the idea of whatever this virus is, so there's a very, very small population that does not get infected with her and the 11 others. There's the population that just immediately dies from this, and then you got everybody else. So the idea of, like, everybody else, like, cleaning this up, and it even gets mentioned later, like, hey, don't go outside for the next couple of days because we got some cleanup work to do.
Right.
Like, they're all working together. But I mean, again, it fits into the interesting like narrative or like idea of like the e pluribus unum, right? Like kind of like the famous thing that's on all of our currency and everything, meaning of many, out of many, one. And the idea of essentially Carol here being the unum in that situation, like she is the one outlier from everybody else working together to do, I don't know what their goal is, right? That's the other interesting thing. Like, is it just to live in harmony or is it something else?
I don't know what their goal is either. I'm looking forward to find it out. I just want to note that, Tom, it's not on my currency. I'm a Bitcoin guy, Tom. I don't know if I've told you this, but huge fan. I think it's going places, and I was going to buy $10 worth of it the other day, and I'm excited to be a Bitcoin guy.
I'm a Dogecoin dude.
Oh, I bet you
that
are.
dog coin.
I bet you are. So when she's back at her house, you mentioned the kids because she gets locked out. Mm-hmm. The whole group saying we're sorry for your loss. Ugh. Knowing about Helen's death, like knowing what she meant to Carol and then acknowledging it, I found very like interesting, like what the implications are there. And so, once again, first episode, a lot of mystery, and they've got me. They've got me locked in. I was not locked in where she goes to like kind of shelter in her house and she grabs a golf club, like an iron. No, this is New Mexico. Tom, as a huge proponent of gun violence, she goes for a gun. She's got like a blunderbuss from her book series hanging on the wall. And
that'd be pretty great.
She loads the old flintlock up. But
should have used the cutlass that one fan had.
Hey, there you go. Look at you bringing up, or a LeSabre. These are just Chrysler car names, I think, at this point.
The 300.
All the neighbors being like, we're going to give you space and driving away in unison other than the trailer that comes up. Once again, just very cool looking.
Yeah. Again, everything is just shot so interesting. And you got this group of people that are, I guess, in cleanup mode, and they're doing a fantastic job.
What if Will Forte drove up in this moment? And was like,
oh,
hey.
dude, I had so many, Last Fate on Earth vibes going on here. Yeah.
That's a different show. If Will Forte's like, hey, he's bowling, he's sending bowling balls out of the truck at aquariums. That scene will always be with me. Okay, she turns on the news. We don't know. It's CNN, it's MSN. It's certainly not Fox. And I thought it was the president initially, but it's not the president. We find out that the Secretary of Agriculture is like the last guy standing, or he's the next in line.
he makes mention of which is also kind of interesting. He was saying a lot of the bigger, higher up people succumbed to this disease or virus and just kind of died. So why did it happen to hit all these higher ups? Was it done on purpose or whatever? But him standing in front of that White House seal and then just saying I was the closest by and I was wearing a suit. So good.
That's great. I do want to point out that I bet the drinkers survived, Tom. I bet that's what it comes down to. Because Helen had a Diet Pepsi, and Carol was drinking, and so she survived. So this is another thing I'm going to throw in my family's face when they try and come after my booze. In that show that guy made up about those aliens that aren't real, the people that drank survived.
Yep, our kind of people.
All right, There's a lot of... I'm going to give you the floor time. There's a lot happening when she's talking to the television. The television is talking to her. The phone rings. She picks up the phone. I'm going to let you take it because there's a lot happening in the background, and I know you love the written word on screen.
I do. The chyron on the bottom of when she turns on the TV, and her response is God bless America, that the TV's on and if somebody's going to talk to her, not knowing that they're going to talk specifically to her. Right. It's Carol, when you are ready, call us. We know you have questions. No pressure. Julian, did I call this phone number? Yes, I did.
Oh,
yes, I did call this phone number.
Nice.
When you call the phone number, it says it's okay, Carol. We know you have a lot of questions. If you want follow-ups, please press 0, and then it hangs up. Did I push 0? Yeah. I pushed 0. When I pushed 0, I signed up unknowingly, but very happily signed up for some sort of text messaging service where now I got a text message saying, please know your life is your own, Carol. You have agency. That being said, reply yes to sign up for updates from Apple TV Plus and agree to terms and conditions.
That's incredible.
It's so good. So then they send a follow-up says, you must have so many questions for us. Understand, we only want to make you happy. We'll be in touch soon. Pluribus. So I guess they're going to be sending me ads throughout the entire sequence of the show, and I'm so glad I called the number. And please do as well. It's like a Washington number, 202. But yeah, like the back and forth of this, and her first response when he like lays it all out, she's like, yep. Like, I was just dumbfounded and trying to like make any sense of this. They kind of lay out the rules saying, hey, cellular stuff is down. You got to, press 0 from any landline phone. You can come and get us. She starts to draw the conclusions about this being an alien invasion. I mean, there was a lot to kind of take in, and I'm sure she's going to have follow-up questions.
So I do want to point out that, like, she asks, is this an alien invasion? Or, like, maybe he preemptively answers and he says no. And then he kind of hedges, like, not really, I feel like I caught. And then it's like he talks through, like, first off, I just want to say she immediately pours a tall glass of brown liquor and downs it. And I thought that was important to note. She's a survivor. But, like, so she's not in any danger, and then he kind of gives us this rundown of, hey, like the signal that came through space was essentially like an RNA sequence, and it turns out to be like, he calls it a psychic glue. But then he mentions that it's extraterrestrial in nature. So while this is not an alien invasion, the message was from outer space, and so I got confused, which I'm perfectly fine with at this point. I like the mystery.
The aliens are technically invading, right? Like, they are just, they're manipulating, like, the humans, essentially, right? They're not actually coming to the planet and trying to take it over. They probably are a hive mind alien species from another planet that are just, like a virus spreading itself across.
The guy that didn't care where it came from. All of a sudden, you've got hive mind theories. I like it. I think
so. But I like the explanation, and I feel again like they gave me enough to satisfy the answer. If they go further, I'm here for it, but I don't think they need to. I think I'm more about like the mystery and how she reacts to whatever this alien invasion type thing is.
Sure. I appreciated the Secretary of Agriculture being like, I'm in charge now. Well, everyone is in charge now.
Yeah.
Because we is us.
Yes, we're all one.
During this conversation, as we mentioned, we discover that Carol is someone that this did not affect, and that there are 11 others, but they're not just like, they're all over the world. So,
are we going to meet them?
I would think so. I would think the goal of this would be to try and get these 11 together and figure out what they have in common. I do appreciate them being like, listen, you're not in any danger, even though you're different. So I think that leaving these 11 alive is going to come to bite this hive mind in the rear end eventually, Tom. Because
I think just leaving Carol alive, man. She's a force to be reckoned with. Yeah,
That's true. She's got that cutlass and that brown liquor, and she's gonna cut someone. They do explain, and I think you mentioned it earlier, they see Carol not being affected by this as a defect, because he says, we're going to fix you, it'll be all right. And so I found that like verbiage interesting. And then from Carol's perspective, she obviously doesn't think anything's wrong with her. She thinks everything's wrong with everyone else. So,
well, and like the idea of this hive mind being like happy is like so surface level. Like, yes, they might have like smiles on their faces, but these people are just have like taken all of their agency away, and now they are all part of this, like, whatever this hive mind is. It is terrifying.
Rad. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You said terrifying. I thought it sounded pretty awesome. I mean, this just seems like communism at work, and I'm all for it, Tom.
Space communism.
Huge space communism. That's right. Emotional communism. We all share it. And then Carol is then like, hey, what if I say no? And he's like, well, you're going to see how wonderful this is, so I don't know that you're not going to want to join us. But and leading to, we only want to make you happy. And
so good. And then cut to the clock, right? And now our clock is counting upwards. It's so good.
We're like 30 past, I think is what it's. So, a lot of mystery here. I enjoyed it. I feel like a show like this is better going in completely blind. Like, they didn't tell us anything about it. Like, no one's talked about it. I mean, they knew the show was coming, but no one was, like, dropping spoilers or anything like that. But even from, like, a premise standpoint, I went in completely blind, and I enjoyed it. And I'm glad I've got a second episode that I can jump to, and hopefully it's as strong as the first.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more. Like, so much of like trailers for TV shows and movies just spoil so much, and this is a perfect example of one that like a minimal amount of backstory going into it is better. And like, again, I knew the general premise that she was like not part of a greater group, but I had no idea what it was. If it was like chemicals in the water or a government thing, but like the idea of this being like more sci-fi is fascinating. And again, with Vince Gilligan at the helm and Rhea Seehorn, like I am in for it and can't wait for more.
Captain Seehorn, we'll call her. The captain of the winds. Oh, well, it would be the Vaquero, might be the ship. Who knows? We'll find out more. I mean, I'm on Barnes & Noble's website right now. 2-week delivery time. Never mind, I'm going to Amazon. No, I'm excited. We'll be dropping into episode 2 shortly. For those of you that are listening to us for the first time, welcome aboard. We've got a pretty big catalog of shows we've done previously. We're excited about this one. If you'd like to reach out to us, you can reach us at teambingepodcast@gmail.com. Tom runs the socials because I got in trouble. I did not mean to send that picture out, but it is what it is, and the internet forgets, as they say.
Yeah.
So, Tom, what did I miss?
Yes, follow us on the socials at Team Binge or at Team Binge Podcast. We're on all the big ones: Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, Threads. Let us know what you think of the show. Let us know if you have any theories thus far.
Oh, we love
and
theories.
Again, if you do, like Julian mentioned, if you have time and can rate and review us on like Apple Podcasts, we would greatly appreciate it. Helps kind of get helps us gain an audience. And if you do leave a nice positive review, we might just read it on the pod.
Okay, perfect. Well, we will be back for episode 2 of Pluribus for Team Binge. Tom, I have been Julian.
And Julian, I have been us. Till next week, everybody.